Hey guys, this is professional wrestler Colt Cabana and professional podcaster Colt Cabana. You're listening to the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show. This is awesome. 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 This promo is dreadful, which would make it awesome.
Produced by the Cleveland Sound Radio Network. Here is the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, hosted by Glenn Moore and Steve Guy.
Episode number 92. This is Awesome Wrestling Show, and the band is back together. Steve Guy here in studio with me. I am your host, Glenn Moore. A little shout out to Justin Summers for filling in last week, filling in late for the absent Steve Guy. Steve, why were you absent last week?
I had a family member pass away.
Oh, geez, that's right. I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I totally forgot that was the reason.
And I had to rearrange my schedule.
But thanks for Justin for filling in.
Thank you, Justin. I did appreciate that very much.
So Justin filled in last week and officially took over for Eddie Kingston as our third co-host.
Officially? Can you officially take over?
I mean, yeah. I'm calling an executive decision.
Wow.
Eddie Kingston's no longer a recognized member of the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show
it's gonna break his heart.
Rotation. Yeah, he hasn't been on the show in a while anyway.
Yeah, he hasn't been in town.
I mean, hey, he quit AIW. In reality, he quit us.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So he's gone from the show. He is gone from AIW. So, I mean, you got to move on, dude. Yeah.
It's a lot of heartbreak for me in the last couple weeks here.
Sorry. Really sorry.
Lose a family member. Now I've lost Eddie as a co-host.
Well, we're really happy you're back here because you picked the right week to come back because there's a lot of news to get into. We got the final deletion we're going to be talking about. Steve literally just got done watching it for the first time.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to be talking about Brock Lesnar getting a big win in UFC over the weekend and what this means for him in WWE. We're going to talk about that. And we have other some news that tidbits to get into for the show, but jam-packed. And we're going to make fun of a fellow wrestling fan. Well, I don't want to call him a fan because he's more of a nerd, wrestling nerd, and a wrestling goof. And we'll get into that. We're going to play a news clip for you and give our thoughts on this nerd that gives wrestling fans like Steve and I, and you, the listener, a bad rap. Because when people watch the news and they see this clip, they're thinking like, oh, wrestling fan, this guy's a nerd. And, Steve and I have our likes. We both obviously love wrestling, but, we're not nerds.
Yeah, I like girls.
Well, this guy's married. He has a wedding ring on, so we didn't see the wife, though, so we didn't see what she looked like. But he is married, and he's like a 40-year-old man wearing a John Cena shirt. All I have to say about that.
We have Tinder. We like things other than wrestling.
Yeah, but we're not... Yeah. We're not like, oh, I have 2 wrestling belts and 100 T-shirts.
I have no belts.
And,
from when I was a little kid, I still have belts.
I mean, we have those foam. We don't have the real.
The foam ones. Yeah,
$800 belts that people spend, and they walk around like they're the champion at events when there's 10 other dudes with the same belt. I don't get that.
What I don't get is why you don't buy the heavyweight championship. You could be any champion in the world because you're buying it.
Yeah.
And you elect to be, I just want to be Intercontinental. I just want to be U.S. champ.
I want to wear I want that stupid penny belt.
Just
for
be the best. Just be the best.
Just get the main one. There's no reason why to have. Why you want to get the IC belt?
Unless you're someone who's a freak and you're like one of these people who dresses up like the characters themselves. and so like maybe you wear a belt that is synonymous with that person.
There's like a different levels of wrestling freaks.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like even wrestling fandom. Like us, like we'll support T-shirt. Probably the most we'll do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dress up. Next level up is probably dressing up as your favorite wrestler.
Or do you think belt and then dress up?
Okay, a belt is
Yeah.
below. Okay, yeah. So you bring an actual wrestling belt that is over $500,
Yeah.
and then the next level would be dressing up as a wrestler, and
Yes.
then the next level would be dressing up as a clown or a sign guy or what God knows what you are, wearing a dress suit that has logos all over it, like the suit guy. Or Brock Lesnar guy, where you wear an Affliction T-shirt or a Lesnar T-shirt every show. Like, that's total
How about
nerdiness,
How
right?
about this? My friends went to the Indians game this past weekend, and there was a guy carrying around, I kid you not, 3 WWE titles
At an Indians game?
at the Indians game.
Why?
I couldn't tell you.
Why?
I wish I knew. They took pictures with him, but with the belts.
Oh, of course. You're just feeding his... Why? Take a picture with him. You're just feeding his ego.
Yeah, well, and then they took pictures wearing the belts. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
One was
This
actually
kid.
the ECW TV championship title.
But okay, that's cool. Like, that's unique to
Yeah.
have, like, on your mantle when people come over.
I don't know why you
granted,
take it to an Indians game.
that's the last place you would take
Grown man, too.
Grown man. So,
Appeared to be alone.
are you surprised? Are you surprised?
No.
I mean, I have a lot of wrestling shirts. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, sure.
But it's not, our everyday attire.
no.
I don't have a John Cena shirt.
No.
I don't have, where kids should, I have T-shirts of wrestlers that either I'm friends with or I support, and I want to, help support WWE old timers as well. But I mean, we'll get into this guy because this clip is hilarious, and he calls this consumer hotline for this news station in Philadelphia because he's upset with WWE. So we'll get into that later. But the big news this week is obviously Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar in UFC getting a unanimous decision win over Mark Hunt.
That's a big boy.
I have to say that correctly. Mark Hunt.
Properly space that.
Properly. But yeah, got a big win over Mark. And now
In relation to Mike Hunt.
God, Steve, Jesus.
No?
No,
No relation to Mike?
not
Okay.
at all. Hopefully. Just Mark. Now Brock is going to be competing against Randy Orton at SummerSlam, which is in August next month. Jeez, it's already going to be August. Next month for WWE. Now, Lesnar obviously is a beast. I mean, legit. I mean, he is jacked. He just defeated a top 10 heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
A little side note. How awesome would it be to see Stipe here, Cleveland's own UFC heavyweight champion Stipe going against Brock Lesnar for the title?
Oh, that would be nuts.
That would be amazing.
That would be sweet.
Do you think that would happen? I mean, do you
I don't
Brock
think this
is going to
win
be?
puts Brock right back in championship talk.
Oh, dude, I think it does.
But he's got to
He beat a
defeat.
top 10.
But there's other guys that he has to defeat to get up
I think
there.
he's in the talk. He doesn't deserve a shot yet.
Right,
I
right.
think he's in the rankings.
He's got to win a couple more matches at this point from that layoff. Like one, maybe 2 more matches, right?
I think if he beats a top 5 guy,
Like if it's let's say it's bracketed, so to speak.
yeah.
He's got to within his bracket move up that way. I'm not saying he has to beat everybody within the top 10, but a couple more guys leading up there.
I think Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
I'm putting a deliberate space between those two words. He was, I think, number 8 in this fight in the top 10 when it comes to heavyweights in the world with UFC. Lesnar, I think, immediately goes to 7 or 6.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not a big UFC guy, and to be honest, I only watch UFC if Stipe or Jessica I or Rousey and now Lesnar. If these guys are fighting, I'll watch. I'll
Sure.
make sure I watch the whole show. But I don't I'm not a big UFC who is the unknowns or who is in the top 10. I'm not familiar with these guys enough to say, but I would think just out of common sense, if Brock Lesnar, who is a former champion, comes back and beats, pretty single-handedly, just, overwhelmingly beats a top 10 guy, I think Lesnar is in the conversation to be in those rankings. And if he does get back to UFC and beats another guy, hey, I think he's in the talk, dude. Dude, Stipe versus Lesnar. We got would be amazing.
Well, Stipe's got to get past September 1st.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I hope that he will.
Yeah. Here in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right here.
I always mix up the names of the heavyweight and light heavyweight guys, so like I never really try to get involved in the talk too much. But I just think from what I used to watch boxing when I would grow up. But you just got to get a couple wins before you can just be thrusted into that championship
I'm just saying,
match.
dude, you're
yeah, I think you're right that you bring him into the conversation.
I'm calling Brock right now.
The conversation's got to be, hey, if Brock Lesnar beats this guy, he's definitely in.
Yeah.
I think it's worth willing to talk about who should he have to beat to be in a championship match.
I don't know who is legit.
I don't either, but
Cain Vasquez. I mean that. He fought earlier in the night. I think he won, right? Correct? He's in the top 10. So, I mean, him and Lesnar could go. I mean, the bottom line is now with Lesnar going to WWE, how do you book Brock Lesnar, who, okay, kudos to WWE. Got a lot of promos for 2K17. They got a lot of promos. They were heavily promoted during this UFC pay-per-view. So, kudos to WWE. But now, if you're WWE and you have Lesnar coming back, you do for SummerSlam. How do you book? You got Randy Orton. It's going to be a hell of a match. Internet world wants to see these two guys lock up, but how can you have Lesnar not as your champion when he is a legit badass in a quote-unquote real fight situation like UFC?
Yeah, plus, oddly enough, Randy Orton in this situation is kind of the Brock Lesnar of this match. In that, you know what I mean? Like, he's coming into something we have not seen him in 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden he's coming back, and he's got this high-profile match, just like Brock Lesnar going back to UFC.
Well, Orton's used to it. I mean, I can see that. But I mean, this is
so. I mean, you got to have a cage match, right?
Something, dude. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed that WWE did not. I mean, this could have been in the contract. This could have been something with UFC. Letting them borrow for a hefty price Brock Lesnar. I'm kind of upset for WWE's sake that they didn't bring Brock on Raw Monday and capitalize on all the hoopla, all the media, and having Lesnar come on Raw. No matter if it's just him walking around backstage, interacting with Heyman, or getting an interview, just something.
Even one of those via satellite interviews, or
just
an interview that took place after the fact that they could have aired. Fly Michael Cole out there.
Yeah.
And let him talk to him, whatever the case may be.
He had Coach already out there. You could have had something, but I feel like his presence was kind of missed on Raw. Did they recognize it at all?
They did recognize it.
Okay, so they did recognize it, but him being there on Raw, physically on your TV screen, as a part of the show, I think would have increased more coverage for WWE. And like you said, there could have been behind-the-scenes agreements like, hey, can't use Lesnar for, a week or two, following this pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true, because UFC may want to still be capitalizing on that instead.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, but maybe you bring him back for the live SmackDown.
I would think that he's going to be there next week.
He's got to be there for that, right?
Yeah. I think he's
the first live SmackDown. You got to have.
Well, yeah. If Lesnar's, if he's going to be there to get drafted by either Raw or SmackDown, or if he's a roamer, is he going to be on both shows? I mean, I think he's a free agent, and I think you do with Brock is he is like an untouchable.
Yeah.
And he is not a full-time guy, and maybe a full-time guy is not eligible for the draft. You make some silly rule up, and Lesnar is kind of like what Batista was, signing the contract for the championship. You have this back and forth between Shane and Stephanie. Where's Lesnar going to sign? And he's on both shows, and you increase that, and you have Lesnar cause havoc all the way to SummerSlam, which would be great.
There's nobody better at causing havoc than Brock Lesnar.
That'd be amazing. It was great to see him fight. It's jacked, but it was more entertaining to watch his press conferences before his interaction with the media. He does not give a damn about questions.
Oh, he is a fantastic personality.
He doesn't care about being PG or giving the media what they want when it comes to writing a story. He just wants to fight somebody, and all these media availabilities that he has to do. It's very entertaining because he doesn't give a fuck about anything.
He really is. As we sit here and talk about it, everybody, obviously, we always love to compare the Attitude Era because everybody thinks that's the glory years of modern-day professional wrestling. Brock Lesnar really is the modern-day Stone Cold Steve Austin. But the difference is he comes to the ring and he is so massive, he's his own steel chair. Like, he doesn't have to come to the ring swinging, but he raises hell in the same way, creates havoc, and is just destroying anything. You remember like when Austin used to come in there and he'd be gone for a minute and he'd be pissed about something and he'd just show up in the middle of matches and he'd start giving stunners and just do it. Brock Lesnar has done that on more than one occasion. That's him. And especially when then... Like, he is the UFC's answer to Stone Cold Steve Austin, too, because of those interviews and everything. I don't give a damn. I'm going to say whatever I want. When did you start feeling okay, Brock? Day 49.
He rolls his
I don't remember the exact hour. That's what that reminds me of. Like, Austin just roll out there, say what he wants, do what he wants. Boom, there you go. Lesnar does the same thing in WWE and in UFC. I think in WWE, it's just more fun to have Paul Heyman.
Here's a question I am not an avid UFC fan. I do not watch. Like I said, those handful of people are on the card. But if you are a WWE fan, okay, and you are a casual UFC to not even watching UFC that much, and you order the pay-per-view for Brock Lesnar, and you watch the Lesnar fight, and for a UFC diehard, it was a good fight. It was entertaining for them. But for the casual UFC fan to non-UFC fan to the more hardcore WWE fan, was that fight with Brock Lesnar entertaining enough to make it worth their while for ordering $60 pay-per-view? Do you think
another UFC, like a non-Lesnar UFC pay-per-view?
I'm just saying, was that fight entertaining enough for the diehard WWE fan for ordering the pay-per-view just for Brock Lesnar? Was it entertaining enough?
Was the rest of it entertaining enough?
I mean, was that fight entertaining enough for you to be like, okay, it justifies me paying for this pay-per-view? I say no, because I think the casual fan, to me, not as a UFC fan, it was kind of boring. There wasn't any knockout, blows. There wasn't any kind of like, ooh, kind of. It was more on it was a Brock Lesnar fight. It was he got on the mat, held Hunt down to the ground, throw some jabs in, but it really wasn't entertaining like a walk-off. Like, Mark Hunt is more known for the, king of the walk-off with the jabs. Was it more, for me, it was entertaining enough to sit there and wait all night till midnight to watch. If I would have known that was going to happen, I would have, watched it when I woke up in the morning. It was not very entertaining for a casual UFC fan.
So it's kind of funny then, right? Because you spend this money, and on one hand, you're like, you got your money's worth because that went the distance.
Yeah.
You actually got to watch a full fight.
True.
But your hardcore WWE fan who watches this thing, they want to watch Brock Lesnar beat some ass. At the same time, like, I didn't get my money's worth. I wanted to see this thing over in one round, in a minute and a half, and just see him knock somebody out.
That's what I wanted to see.
But that's so funny to me because then, well, now it ends short. You're not extending that dollar out. So it's all about the perception of that person. It's kind of, it's about the perception of your dollar, I guess. But yeah, I see your point. It's if you don't really watch UFC, you don't appreciate that as being the technical, I guess, match.
Yeah, I feel like
for what it was.
If you tuned in just to watch someone get, Lesnar to knock out Hunt.
Yeah.
Or Lesnar to get knocked out. You're seeing guys just wrestle and mounting Hunt to just expire the round. It was maybe a little bit boring, and I could be wrong. I could be being a jerk right now for the hardcore UFC fans because I read some recaps from diehard from UFC beat writers that it was a great match. It was Lesnar just overpowered him, which is true. But for the casual WWE fan, did that match actually justify your hard-earned $60 waiting till 12:30 at night to see Lesnar?
Yeah,
fight?
If you really like MMA, you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But you're right. Well, that's a question for our listeners. I feel like we probably have a lot of listeners who are very hardcore WWE fans or professional wrestling fans, but maybe they aren't quite as much in UFC.
They should let us know.
Yeah, would love to hear from you guys. Tweet at us, TIA Wrestling, on the Twitter. Let us know if you think that, as a huge WWE pro wrestling fan, was that match in UFC enough for you?
Segueing into another newsworthy topic that happened the night that Justin and I recorded episode number 91, and we couldn't really get into it because it was happening as we were recording, was the final deletion in TNA between Brother Nero and Broken
Brother Nero!
Matt Hardy. It was a full production taking place at both Hardy residences on their property. You got a mat outside the ring, a ring outside, literally. You had drones involved. You had a referee. You had
lawnmowers.
It was just fire. You had fireworks. It was the whole 9 yards. Produced great. Hat tip to Jeremy Borash, who was the man behind, getting this all produced and directing it on site. And dude, it was probably the most enjoyable thing, other than anything with EC3, that I've enjoyed with TNA in a very, 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 very long time. It was well worth watching it over and over a few times. And I have never been a fan of Matt Hardy, but I am a huge fan of Broken Matt Hardy, and whatever character he's doing, I am entertained to watch on a regular basis if it is, if this is going to be his character for a while.
It was weird.
You literally just got done watching it before the show.
Yeah, it was. Now, I've kind of kept up with their storyline and everything, and I've watched TNA for, I don't know, almost a year or so now, since I had it on cable with Pop TV, whenever that happened. Almost a year. And so this character, Matt Hardy, has kind of been building to this point. Like, he's been this oddball sort of dude for some time now, but this obviously brought it to a head. It was fun. It was different. It was bizarre, that's for sure. Yeah,
it was crazy. And, watching the promos leading up to this week, and then even like the promos, those two promos that you saw, those were aired during TNA's episode. Yeah. So, they aired those two, and then the final main event was this match that they taped at the Hardy compound.
Even their other matches they had leading up to this point were fun to watch.
I have never been the biggest Hardy Boys fan, even in WWE. Just never into the whole kind of weirdness of Jeff Hardy. Was never a big fan of Matt Hardy, even Matt Hardy version 1. I just never was a big fan of the Hardy Boys. But what they're doing now, 18 years later from WWE, when they finally got their shot in the TLC matches and the Attitude Era, I'm invested enough that I am going to watch TNA to see what happens and see what's next between these two guys.
Well, now you want to know, Jeff Hardy, he was kind of just left there in the
deleted.
Dirt. What does that mean? What does being deleted mean?
Matt Hardy has taken over Jeff Hardy's Twitter account too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're selling this the whole 9 yards, dude. Like, obviously, this could lead to speculation that Jeff is going to go to WWE. Like, that could be something maybe with the brand split.
That is definitely some speculation.
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's it's possible, but
no.
But I that what's going to happen? I'm curious. I want to know.
What if he was to be one of the commissioners?
No, Jeff Hardy's not coming to WWE. Yeah.
It's the whole thing though is very, I don't know, weird. I just keep saying it's weird and it's intriguing, and there's so many questions now.
Yeah.
Like, what does being deleted mean? That's my big question. Is Jeff Hardy done? Did we see the end of Jeff Hardy?
Yeah.
It's how long does this character of Matt Hardy stick around? It's not necessarily a sustainable character, I don't think. At some point, there's got to be that whole snap out of it. Where does this leave Jeff Hardy's character of Willow, which we saw make an appearance?
Yeah, I mean, it was like it was a whole There were a lot of eggs in this video.
I think the biggest question on everybody's mind is where do we move forward now with Senor Benjamin?
I think he's going to be a part. They liked him so much, like a good reaction that he's going to be part of the show.
He should be.
And he's Matt Hardy's wife's father too. So I mean, he's
in real life.
Yeah, real life.
IRL.
There were just so many eggs and so many, not conspiracies, but kind of correlations with Matt and Jeff that have been really touched over with a fine-tooth comb and dug in. And if you didn't see it, here's some eggs for you. And I kind of gave them to Steve during the video, but Maxwell's hair is styled the same as Matt's, like it has kind of a grayish, longish streak to it. It's the Vanguard 1, and Jeff holds up the version 1, which
V
is
point, but it says V.1.
Yeah, so it's version 1, like
Vanguard 1. Yeah,
little hat tip to Matt Hardy version 1 back in WWE. He also has 7 drones attack Jeff, and the 7 drones is the same amount as tag team championships that Matt and Jeff have won together in wrestling.
Oh.
So there's a little correlation there. The violin that summons Jeff.
Yeah.
I guess the violin symbolizes a call of addiction. We all know about Jeff and his problems with with addiction. The ladder is a hat tip to their ladder matches that made him famous. The fireworks can be symbolized as when Jeff was injured by fireworks on SmackDown during his promo. That's a little kudos to him. Now the boat. That boat has its own T-shirt now in Pro Wrestling Tees.
What did he say when he gets
dilapidated boat?
It was what?
Dilapidated boat.
Yeah.
So they're saying that the boat symbolizes them leaving WWE and coming to TNA. While TNA has struggled to stay afloat, it still gives shelter and a place of employment for Matt and Jeff.
Oh,
so
it's quite the reach.
Yeah, I think that's a little reach.
Yeah, something that deep, you have to ask them if that's what that means.
Yeah, they fought from sunset to sunrise. They fought all night, literally, and it's basically the son's first birthday, and the sun's coming up. And the sun's a candle. The candle, it ignites the flame that takes out Jeff. And they have flashbacks that from posing as teens, winning the TNA Tag Team Champions outside their high school, and when they do the flashback montage, and Jeff falls into the dirt, the same place where he hurt his leg in a dirt bike accident, the accident that triggered everything. The Hardys were in the middle of their first ever tag team run in TNA, when the champions, and Jeff injured himself, which has led to Matt making a quest for the world title, and that quest has led him down this broken path to what he is right now.
Well then.
So this is I'm reading this. This is not me saying this. This is reading off of the internet, which is not always correct, but this is someone's kind of theory when it comes to all this stuff that happened in this match. And the Armageddon, when he says that's when Jeff Hardy won the title for his first time for WWE. This is a true Armageddon. It's a lot of little hat tips. If you're not a hardcore wrestling fan, you kind of missed it, but it's pretty cool to see that there's little eggs right there that if you notice, it's pretty cool to notice that they left those little nuggets there.
They did an excellent job with it. It was very different.
Yeah.
You haven't seen something like this in some time. There's definitely some positives to doing something like this once in a while. You can, because nobody is around, you can do stop and starts, right, to get a shot that you want, or plan a sequence, so to speak. So I think that's good. And maybe with these guys, that's something that you need to do. Their bodies, they can't necessarily have the epic kind of match that maybe they once would have.
Yeah.
If they were feuding like this. So this is a different way to be able to do that. This will still be epic.
Oh, definitely.
you always talk about like, remember that final deletion? Man, that was freaking whatever. But it's a different way for them to still put themselves in history here without having to entirely wrench their bodies. I mean, if you look at the match, there weren't a ton of movesets in this match.
No,
right?
It wasn't.
It was purely about the storytelling.
It wasn't about the match at all. Like, it was more about just the production and the comedy spots, and it was more about these two than it was about making an actual wrestling match. Now, Hardy versus Hardy, this episode of TNA, it set a record for viewers. So it actually it improved viewers. It almost 500,000 people tuned in.
Wow.
Which when TNA, they're getting around 300,000. So
they were getting the week. It was either the week before or 2 weeks before. I saw they went up. They were at like 312 or something. Then they went to 392.
Yeah, it was 322 the week before, and 302 the week before that.
Okay.
So they had a little jump here and there, but this is a huge jump, almost 100,000 new people watching, which is good news for TNA, but also Pop TV because they want to see viewership. But and with Tuesday SmackDown going live, they changed. They're going to go back to Thursday nights for TNA for Impact. So I'm even that I'm kind of disappointed because I think you probably could have maybe pushed TNA Impact another hour on Tuesdays after SmackDown because SmackDown's from 8 to 10.
Yeah, she could have just gone from 9 to 11. Well, that's what they do is 9 to 11. You're saying 10 to 12?
10 to 12.
Oh, okay.
And piggyback off of a SmackDown.
Yeah.
Instead of having their own night, just
like
pick
its own little. You could be a lead-in.
You pick up off of SmackDown.
Sure, that would make sense. What is curious too is, that's to jump that many viewers. That's huge for TNA, and so what they really needed to do though as well is everything else on that episode needed to be fantastic. Or worthwhile, right? Because you needed, if this is the culmination of that feud, you needed to have enough stuff that was incredible and fun for people to also watch, for them to be like, all right, well, I know that's over, but I need to come back and watch what happens with this storyline.
Well, I mean, you have, and like they, tonight is live at 9 o'clock, which I'll be watching. You have title versus title, Lashley versus Eddie Edwards. You have they're saying tonight is Destination X. You have a X match with Spud and DJZ, Trevor Lee, Adam Everett, Manders, and Braxton Sutter, Drew Galloway, and EC3 in a fight. Marty Bell versus Gail Kim versus Sienna versus Jade. So, and there's really nothing going on with Matt. I mean, we'll probably have Matt come out, but they're trying. They're trying. I mean, they're trying. The pay-per-view last one, I Summerversary was what's it called? I think it was. Yeah, that was entertaining for me to watch the whole time. So I mean, they're improving, but I want to see ratings this week. They're trying to pick it off. Kind of keep those people. But if it's back to what it was before, then that all those people came just to watch Final Deletion, which is not what they want. Ultimately.
Yeah, and that's not to say that all of those people are going to tune back in after watching the Final Deletion, but if you could hold on to a portion of those, if you can hold on to half of the people will probably be amazing. If you can hold on to a quarter of the people that tuned in just because of the Final Deletion, then you did something well. If you can hold on to half of those, the extra people, then you did something really well.
They basically, gained an extra 100,000 viewers. For last week's episode. So if you keep 25%, you're getting an extra 25,000. So if they're in the ballpark between 350 to 360, I think that's a huge win for TNA to keep those people to get to 25%, which would be great. So we'll see, but they're putting on a great show tonight. A ladder match to determine. That's what they're calling the Spud DJZ match. So,
and to put it in perspective, not everybody has Pop TV yet.
No.
So those numbers, are a bit more impressive than we're leading on even.
Yeah. So that starts tonight. We're recording this a few hours before, so this episode's going to come out after TNA, obviously. But it's kudos to TNA for being different, and it's kind of funny. And I don't want to recap Raw, because Raw has already transpired and over and talked about before this episode's up. But it's funny how WWE kind of takes that idea of fighting at an odd, eerie place
and runs with it,
and just hey, we saw that you got viewers for that for TNA.
We're gonna do this too.
We're gonna do it better. I think Final Deletion is in his own category, but we're gonna produce it better. It's gonna be produced with better effects, or just overall the staging of it. I think it was better, but they took it next week. Okay, we're gonna do it.
Yeah,
the following week.
You almost wish TNA would stay, because then we'd start building the Tuesday Night Wars.
Yeah, nah.
But I just mean that in the sense that that's how a lot of that started out.
Yeah,
was you had WWE over here and WCW like, well, we're gonna show some edge and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and all of a sudden Vince like, well, we need to do that, and here you are again. Another company comes in and they do something, and a boost in viewership. We can't be outdone by that.
Yeah.
It's interesting, because I think if we had this conversation a year ago and we would have said, hey, how much is TNA really on WWE's radar? Would they care? Probably not, but this is a pretty good indicator that TNA is on WWE's radar, don't you think?
No, not at all. This is just...
At least to grab some fresh things from?
No,
I mean, because this clearly stems from everything that was going on there.
But for them to be worried?
No, not in a sense that they're worried. I just mean that they are paying attention to what's happening on the show.
I'm sure, not Vince, but I'm sure, TV producers they saw this, they saw this little spike.
Yeah.
And it correlates to Bray Wyatt and what they stand for and what they do. But I mean, dude, we are far away from any
and I don't mean as competition. I just mean in the sense that, I feel like a year ago, producer, everybody would be like, nah, we're fine just doing what we're doing. We don't need to keep it, this, for WWE, this Bray Wyatt New Day thing was very fresh.
Yeah.
And they obviously got that from here. So, and I just don't think a year ago you would have seen a producer or somebody from WWE being like, hey, TNA actually did something cool the other night. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I don't think there's enough viewers. WWE's barely pushing 3 when it comes to TV ratings.
Yeah.
And, back when WCW and WWE were going at it, both these shows were going 6.
5, 6.
I mean, that was for both of them. So,
right.
I mean, wrestling it's just like the 95 Indians, dude. I always compare it to wrestling. 95 Indians, you will never see Indians sell out 400-plus games in a row ever again, because that was a niche. That was just, a different time, and you will never see...
Until 2001.
Yeah, well, we will never see, WWE and having a legit competitor for them to be worried about their survival like they were for Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
It will never happen again, because people aren't watching wrestling the same, the same amount as they did back in the 90s. It's never going to happen again. Never. I mean, you might have someone that's going to push a 1, TNA maybe a 1.5, but WWE is going to be, there's this Global Force Wrestling, nope. TNA, nope. Ring of Honor, nope. Which they're all great productions, but I mean, WWE will never have any legit competition ever again.
I would like to see a general population study of the demographics, like were there more people within one demographic when we were growing up that were watching wrestling in general compared to where is the population of that demographic now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know. Most of the people that I know haven't been in a rush to have kids, and or they had them and it's like, I know people who are older and they waited a long time to have kids, whereas if they would have had kids at the same time maybe our parents did, those children would be teenagers at this point and watching. So I'm curious about that. I don't know what you call that. I don't study that stuff, but it would just be fun to find out.
Yeah, I would.
Does that play a part?
Yeah, but I think it's just more of, social media and YouTube.
Yeah,
and
just watching it whenever
Yeah,
instead of
I mean,
on television itself.
only way you could watch wrestling was legit watching
Watch
it
it.
live
Yeah,
or
you're right.
taped,
Yep.
but your TV was tuned in at the
Yes.
time to tape it or watch it live. And now you got YouTube, you have social media, you have streams that don't trigger into, people don't have cable now. I mean, it's a lot of factors.
Oh yeah,
But
well, I mean,
they're-
look, you can watch it all on Hulu,
Yeah.
and maybe that's where you want to find out is what's the number of people who. So if you take the rating from a Monday Night Raw,
Mhm.
and then add the amount of people that watch it on Hulu,
Yeah.
that might give you a better, truer rating of who's actually tuning in.
I mean, I have Sling, Sling is it's like Netflix but live TV, and you pay $40 a month, and you get all the channels. It's an app, and you watch on your computer, your phone, your PlayStation or Apple TV or whatever.
And that's not through a cable network at all.
It's an internet connection.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And you watch it. Like I've signed up for a free month trial, and I can watch USA Network. They just put NBC Universal on there, so USA, NBC channels are on there. I'm watching Raw in HD, right now for free, but you can get all the cable channels for $40. But how does that factor in as well? Because I'm sure people get Sling to watch TV. They don't want to.
Yeah, how do you track
cable.
that viewership then? It's interesting.
I think they're more social media, social media and YouTube. They're getting billions of views. There's a lot of different things, but I think, they want a strong rating. The network obviously changes everything. And then, all the platforms on social media.
I know we're not going to recap Raw real quick, but can I tell you one of my favorite things
We
going?
gotta get into the fan.
We do. But I just want to tell you one of my favorite things going right now on WWE television.
Is Briango?
Brizongo?
Brizongo.
No, that's pretty good too. But The Club doing this whole beat up John Cena thing,
Yeah. Hashtag beat up Johnson.
that cracks me up. They're doing it on Twitter, and then when they go over on the show and they do it, I love it.
It's trending.
It is.
Trending
It's
worldwide.
hilarious.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. One of the better things going that they have right now.
Yeah, better. Really quick, we kind of called it way back in the day when they announced they're going to have a draft between. We kind of knew that it was going to be Stephanie versus Shane. Either
Right.
one. We saw it coming. But really quick, can you give me your predictions for GM or I think they're the commissioners, and then they're going to hire GMs.
No, they are the.
GMs. They're going to hire commissioners.
Yeah, is that what he said? They're commission, right? Which I did when Vince was like, "Oh, we're not COOs. Where's the new era? They're going to be called commissioners."
So
Well,
they're
that's what
gonna
they were
be-
called in the last
Yeah.
era.
So what it is basically is they're going to hire. They're going to have each somebody be running the shows.
Yeah.
And Stephanie and Shane are not going to be in every episode of the show. Obviously, like Shane is not
Right,
going to
somebody
be in
will
every
run it.
episode.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just going to be there for like pay-per-views probably and big shows. But my prediction for SmackDown is going to be is Daniel Bryan.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Which I hate because he's not a personality guy. I don't want
No.
somebody that's
You're
good on
right.
the camera. But they're going to get people are going to pop. People are going to go crazy. And for Raw, I don't. I think it's going to be Triple H.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But isn't he technically the COO of the company?
I know, but I mean, they're come on, it's wrestling. Wrestling,
Yeah, I get it.
anything goes. But I think it's going to be Triple H, and then you're going to have Daniel Bryan, and you're going to reignite that whole D-Bry versus Triple H thing, Raw versus SmackDown. Which I think is great for the competition between the two brands, but
Yeah.
I want Eric Bischoff. He is not coming back. I want I want Bischoff so bad that it makes
Oh, it would be incredible to have Eric Bischoff come back.
Gives me a chubby just thinking about it.
Or I guess you could put Paul Heyman back in as one of them. I don't know.
No, keep him Lesnar.
It would be amazing to have Eric Bischoff come back.
God, but he's
What about Booker T?
no, not interested in seeing that.
You know what I would like to see?
I want to see a non-wrestlers run it.
I would like to see Corey Graves.
Nah, no.
He's got personality
Yeah, but he's
and charisma. Like he would be good on the SmackDown brand to represent like that new, younger, coming up kind of feel.
no.
I would enjoy him.
He's a bad guy, so Shane's not going to pick a bad guy.
It's true. He does roll
Yeah.
the heel route.
So
You could always start fresh though with that.
I would love to see this non-wrestlers. Obviously Daniel Bryan is not a non-wrestler now.
Right, and Corey can't wrestle either.
Yeah, but I want a guy that when he gets in the ring that he's not like a wrestler, like Eric Bischoff.
You know that it's not going to be a storyline because of that guy.
Like what
about an Edge or Christian?
No, I don't think No. Like non-wrestlers, dude.
Well, Edge can't wrestle.
No, like they're known for not wrestling. Eric Bischoff is known for not. He's not. We can't talk about him because he's not coming back. He's not.
No, it would be great if he did.
It would be awesome, and he's not interested at all, and he's not coming back.
I would not mark out for him like I did Shane though.
Dude,
but I would be pretty excited.
If I heard if I heard that, I would freak the fuck out. I would be jumping up and down. I was a WCW mark before WWE and F, and seeing Eric Bischoff on my screen again would be terrific. I watched his DVD that just came out a few weeks ago. Watched it in one night. All the extra stuff. I'm a huge Eric Bischoff fan.
I think he's great, and I would love to see him back on there.
He's not.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head who else I would throw in there, but
yeah,
I can't think of anybody.
It's gonna be fun.
Maybe Scott Steiner.
Week. Nah, it's not. It'd be fun to see him come back, but I highly doubt that. Maybe
Big Papa Pump versus Triple H.
Hulk Hogan.
Come on, that'd be an amazing GM thing.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I did think about that.
I don't think so.
No.
Not to be a GM.
Brooke, she was good at GM once before on TNA.
They're not going to steal every TNA idea, Steve.
Ric Flair.
Flair would be good. Flair would be
I can see that happening.
Oh, dude.
Especially he becomes the GM on whatever brand that Charlotte's on to make her life a living hell.
Maybe Raw. I think more for Raw, maybe.
Yeah.
But then, Stephanie is bad. Rick is good.
Yeah, but you also have the whole storyline of Rick is the...
Well, Charlotte's bad.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, you're right. Him had to be good. But you have the Rick and Triple H.
Speaking of Charlotte, before we get to this idiot fan, how amazing does Dana Brooke look?
I thought you were going to ask, how amazing does Charlotte look? I think Charlotte looks pretty good.
Charlotte is not my cup of tea. Dana Brooke is.
All right.
And Dana Brooke, her ring attire is absolutely fabulous. And she's amazing.
All right, then.
I try to slide at her DMs all the time.
Oh, Glenn Moore.
And she responds. We strike up conversations. But Jesus Louise.
See, I am not sliding into the DMs of my TV wrestling crush.
Why not?
Especially because I have to ring announce.
Is she
for
dating
her.
somebody?
I have no idea. But I did DM once only to get her on this show. Yeah. And that was it. Nothing else.
We'll get her on.
A couple tweet ats, but...
probably get her on at Map Solution.
Big fan of hers.
Well, it is... Dana Brooke has now overtaken Asuka as my diva. Woo.
Wow.
That's what I call it. My diva. Woo. That's the official segment. Who is this week's Glenn's diva? Woo. It's Dana Brooke. And you know what? She has improved so much in the course of a year and a half. Seeing her NXT, she was so green. And now she's, she was in the match main event of Raw, hanging with Sasha Banks. She's a little rough around the edges still. But Jesus, she has the potential to be. Woo.
Well, then.
Wow. All right, Steve, let's get into this idiot fan. Let's make fun of this kid, all right?
All right, I like that.
All right, here we go, Steve. This is a man named Sean Brown, who they call him a avid wrestling fan, and he felt body slammed after he tried to get a refund. He was upset over the lineup changing for WWE. And NBC 10 in Philadelphia responded. They have their response team, for consumer people who have problems with companies.
Shout out Harry Hairston.
Harry Hairston gets a shout out. And, Sean Brown felt body slammed.
And clothesline.
And drop kicked. Because WWE, we're going to play the audio for you. We're going to play this whole video. But this is basically a 40-year-old man. Picture this. I feel like what's her name? Sophia and Golden Girls. Picture this.
Oh.
You have no clue, do you?
No, I do. I do.
Okay.
I didn't know where you were going.
Okay. Picture this. I'm a huge Golden Girls fan.
How about
FYI.
that?
Picture this. You have a grown man who's married. He has a ring on. Grown man upset that he can't see Daniel Bryan and John Cena, and he's wearing a John Cena shirt. This guy has to be 35 years old probably, right?
Yeah, might have been older
Looks-
than that. Yeah.
40 years old.
He's an accountant for sure.
He has fake sideburns. He's trying to
He
grow
does,
sideburns.
like The Rock.
Terrible sideburns.
Yeah.
So they call him an avid wrestling fan. But he's
He's
only,
been to over 100 shows.
and he frames every single one. You'll hear
Every
the audio.
ticket.
But he's there. He's an avid wrestling fan, but he only wants to see Daniel Bryan. So he loves wrestling, dude. He wants to see wrestling, but he's upset that Daniel Bryan was not there, so he wants a refund. That's like me saying, I go to an Indians game. I'm an Indians fan. They lose. I want my money back.
Yeah.
Pay me back. So here we go. Let's start this up.
The NBC 10 Response takes on WWE. In this corner, an avid wrestling fan having trouble seeing his favorite super.
Now they're going to use wrestling puns in this whole video.
Oh, it's going to be great.
Who is this guy? Harry?
No, that's not Harry.
That's not Harry. This black man and a older black man and a older white lady are the two newscasters.
Yes.
They probably have not watched one wrestling match in their entire lives.
No.
So they have no clue.
He looks fit, though.
He does. And she looks good for her age. But they probably have not watched wrestling, and they have no clue what these terms mean.
Stars duke it out in the ring.
And in the other corner, a wrestling promotion that the fan says isn't living up to its promises. NBC 10 Responds reporter Harry Hairston had
Harry.
to play referee on this one.
Had to play referee. Now they're showing clips of guys wrestling.
Incredible.
Independent
When it comes to
wrestling.
pro wrestling, you'd be hard-pressed to find a bigger fan than Sean Brown.
I've got 2 championship belts, numerous T-shirts.
He's been to more than 100 shows.
2
I frame
championship
all the
belts,
tickets.
numerous
But he says
T-shirts,
he's-
Glenn.
And he has, so they're showing the
Numerous.
belts, and he's wearing the Hollywood, the Hulk Hogan, red and yellow
Cena shirt.
Cena shirt. This is a 40-year-old man too.
Body slam, clothesline, and drop kick.
Harry Hairston was just foaming at the mouth to use these wrestling
He was ready
puns.
for it.
He's just foaming at the mouth to use these.
When he recently tried to see some of his favorites
His
in the ring.
IC title.
John Cena, Daniel
Loser.
Bryan, they're 2 of my two of my biggest favorites.
And talk about just the spectrum of Daniel Bryan and John Cena when it comes to this kid, quote unquote, being a huge wrestling fan. Those two are wrestling term wise are just one side of the spectrum and the other side, just opposite of each other.
Well, he likes the people who are fan favorites.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that even before this has already started with his complaining, if you're that big of a wrestling fan, then you know that Daniel Bryan has not wrestled in, at this point, over a year.
Yeah.
So you should already have anticipated going into this story that, oh, you know what? He might not still be on the card.
So
Like, you knew his
Bought
history.
tickets to see Daniel Bryan back in March. Bryan was later taken out of
In
the
March.
lineup, and Brown wanted a refund.
Why?
so that was in March this year.
This past March, he wanted a refund to see Daniel Bryan in March of this past year, and the guy hadn't wrestled since July or June of
almost a year.
of 2015.
So
Maybe even more than that, because he wins the IC title
Yeah.
at WrestleMania, and then he gives that up when? In May, maybe.
yeah, I think it was.
Well, that's in
I think
April.
was
He gives it up in May.
It was in June, I think. It was in beginning of June of 2000. It was before June. It was May. So it was 2014 May that he was off TV for that time. He does come back, but
He retired. He gave his retirement speech either in March or in February
yeah.
because they start building for WrestleMania in March, and everybody remember now that everyone's like, oh well, let's put him in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. So clearly, you know he's not going to be on the show.
Okay, so he's upset, and this is what happens.
Informed WWE that I only purchased tickets to see Daniel.
So he called WWE and says, "Hey, I only bought tickets. I'm a huge wrestling fan, by the way. I love wrestling, but I only came to see Daniel Bryan. Nobody else. I don't care about anybody else."
Listen here, jackass. Daniel Bryan hasn't wrestled in 10 months at this point. You had 10 months to sell your tickets on StubHub or some other thing to get your money back and maybe a few extra dollars. This is all on him. Don't call WWE. Make some money off of it.
Yeah.
WWE's policy says the card is subject to change.
Duh.
Still, as a goodwill gesture, they offered him 2 complimentary tickets to an upcoming show.
Okay, so this kid was in Philadelphia. He was upset that Daniel Bryan was not in the Philadelphia show in March for WWE's tour in Philadelphia. So this kid's complaining, but kudos to WWE for giving him 2 tickets to a future show.
Well,
They didn't have to.
A quick shout out to the guys at AIW who do their show, which is properly named. The card is going to change because of things like this. So, their whole thing is we don't like canceling shows and we try to get somebody else in there just in case. You think WWE doesn't do that? You think when they're like, oh, we pushed this guy, but we need to get somebody else on there, I'm sure that they do. So this is good. It turns out the big company doesn't want to let people down. But what's really frustrating as well is before the Harry Hairston started his story,
Referee Harry Hairston,
the lady newscaster actually said that WWE did not keep their promise. Well, their promise is that the card is subject to change.
It's all about the news clip, making people looking bad. So here we go.
A few months later, he tried to cash in on the offer to see John Cena at a show.
So they have a date here, July 23rd. This is coming up next 2 weeks to a show in...
Well, that's New Jersey.
Oh, he's in New Jersey. So.
I don't know if that's what Philly's pretty close to Jersey, but I don't know if that's the show that he was supposed to go to.
So he bought tickets for this because WWE...
When I called him, he didn't return my call.
Didn't call him back
3 times.
Brown bought tickets on his own.
Then I noticed that they changed the card. Once again, John Cena was no longer advertised for the show.
With no free...
I'm a huge wrestling fan, but if my wrestler is not there, I want a refund right now. I want free tickets.
How does he know that John Cena's not going to be on the show already when it's Saturday, July 23rd? The show hasn't even happened yet.
Well, the promotion. They promoted John Cena to be there, and he was taken off the card.
But that's a whole week away.
Yes.
I mean, he might still be on there because, again, the card is subject to change.
Right. So, he could. So this kid might,
He very well could still show up.
Right. So he could go there. So now he's complaining about Cena not going to be there because they're saying that Cena is not being, not going to be there. This is a Saturday show. This is a house show in New Jersey, which, probably goes to Philadelphia. I mean, News 10, I think. I could be wrong with the location. I mean, I think it's Philadelphia. But it doesn't really matter.
Well, if it is Philadelphia, it's Philadelphia is close to New Jersey, so that would be fine.
Yeah. So he's upset again.
Tickets and another lineup change. Brown felt defeated.
Oh,
like they
and they show a clip of someone getting clotheslined.
Change. Brown felt defeated.
I feel like they change these cards like they change your shoes.
Dude, shit happens. People get injured. People have other commitments that they have to. Like, they don't plan a show months in advance, dude. Like, the show is literally planned as a house show, too. Like, what do you want?
Like, they change these cards like they change their shoes. I mean, they're allowed to. That'd be like saying, hey, I'm going to buy my Cleveland Browns tickets right now in hopes to watch RG3 at quarterback, because that's the only reason I watch it.
Yeah.
Those are for Week 7 in the upcoming NFL season. But, oh, by the way, because he's a Browns quarterback, he's probably going to get hurt before then.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be angry because he's not going to.
Or benched.
So I'm going to be angry that he's not starting. I feel like they changed their quarterbacks like they changed their shoes.
So
if that was the case, the city of Cleveland, I mean, you know how many tickets that the Cleveland Browns would have given away to the entire city by now?
And this is not a 12-year-old kid crying because he can't see John Cena. This is a 40-year-old man sporting a John Cena shirt.
Hey, news to this guy: no one can see John Cena.
Correct.
Called NBC
He even
10
says it on his
responds
shirt.
with the
He's wearing
request.
So instead of just going to the show, enjoying a wrestling show,
Because he's a big wrestling fan.
he is avid. He's an avid wrestling fan.
fan.
He calls the news channel.
Yep.
That is his last resort. I'm going to call Harry Hairston at NBC 10 and just complain and bitch and moan and just hope that Harry will give me free tickets. So this is what, and this he has a little soul patch going on.
Yeah, right under that lower lip.
The faded. This is Poindexter. 40 years old Poindexter.
He looks like a nerdier version of the lead singer from Stained.
He does. This is great. So he calls NBC. He calls Harry Hairston.
I think they're coming back to Philadelphia in September for WWE SmackDown. I would love to have a pair of tickets to that show.
This dude just wants free tickets. That's all he wants.
Yeah, I would love to have tickets to that show. Hey, I'd love to have tickets to a lot of shows too, pal.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Okay, dude. What if John Cena gets drafted to Raw and he doesn't go to SmackDown? Then what are you going to bitch about? You're going to moan and complain about this again? This guy's going to be on Harry Harrison's going to go back to this guy's house every year.
Contacted WWE, and they did him one better. 3 ringside tickets to that September show.
So they gave him 3 ringside tickets to SmackDown, which is going to be live in Philly in September. They didn't have to do this.
No.
3 ringside seats. Ringside.
I hope it's not hard camera side.
Oh, I hope. I hope.
Or do you hope it is? So when we're watching in September,
make fun of this motherfucker every single time we're on TV.
Days later, Brown sent us.
So so now they show him with
sweet Under Armour polo, bro.
Yeah. He's holding 3 tickets, the big smug smile on his face. But the travesty of this video is not him getting the 3 ringside tickets. This video is shot in 2016, shot vertically and not horizontal.
NBC10 response cam.
I'm very confident, without the help of Harry Hairston and the NBC10 response team, that I may not have ever gotten these tickets. Thank you so much.
Harry Hairston, NBC10 response.
I don't understand a word that he just said because all I can hear in my head right now is
comment on this case, but it's common for wrestling cards to change for a variety of reasons, including.
So now you have Miss Old Lady coming on,
and
saying,
the fit guy,
and the fit black man who have never watched wrestling in their life.
Nope.
And they're probably watching the segment the same way we are. Like, what the fuck did we
Thanking
just do?
Harry Hairston.
Harry Harrison, referee Harry Harrison, getting the job done.
Yeah, Brown says the approximate value of the 3 tickets, $300. We also want to thank the wrestlers at the Monster Factory and Paul.
There you go. So there you go. We have
WWE is now giving him 5 free tickets.
5 free tickets to their show, dude. 5, and all they got to do. So should we start complaining? We complain every week. How come where's our tickets?
I don't know.
We complain an hour every week.
We complained so much about their product that we actually stopped complaining about the product. And,
should we?
And had talks about, you know what, we need to do something different here.
You know what we should do? We should call Harry Harrison right now.
I'd rather call Cleveland's own Harry Boomer.
Dude.
Or
Carl Monday
yeah.
would get us ringside WrestleMania.
There's got to be a consumer person on one of these news channels.
Dude, Carl Monday would dig up everything bad about WWE, and he would give us, like, WrestleMania tickets for life.
Yeah, probably. They would give us WrestleMania tickets for life just to get Carl Monday away from them.
Just because Tom Meyer.
That's the guy, Tom Meyer. Yeah.
Tom Meyer would get us. Let's do it. I say we do call one of these guys. We're not happy with WWE.
Oh, I know the consumer guy from Channel 3. Dude. I know who he is. Matt Granite, that's his name.
Just call them all. Let's call them all and give them one room, and we're just going to get free WrestleMania tickets for life.
Yeah.
Because, hey, why isn't the Macho Man there? Seriously, why isn't the Macho Man not at every single show I go to?
Yeah. Well, they have to be.
Where's Hulk Hogan?
Promoted to be on the card.
Listen, brother, Hulk Hogan made this business. Every show should be thanked by.
There should be a little montage at the beginning.
A montage for Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So so screw this Sean Brown kid, and if you find his Twitter, let us know because I want to tweet this kid so bad for being a quote unquote avid wrestling fan who felt body slammed by
My
WW.
girl's in the next room. Sometimes I wish she was you. Lips of an angel.
All right, enough of that idiotic video. Let's go into our awesome finish, Steve.
Well, Glenn Moore, my awesome finish this week could be a whole group of people, but instead I am going to give it just to one person that I saw earlier today, and he will be the representative for all of the people. The douchey, I don't even know if he's douchey, dirty, scummy-looking, long-haired, I'm not sure, looks like he hasn't showered and bathed in some time.
That was weird, buddy.
You thought it was weird, body, but the bum who was across the street from the studio walking around playing Pokemon Go. You people are walking into oncoming traffic, not paying attention. Get a life. That guy probably hasn't showered in a month, he looked like, but he's got time to play Pokemon Go. You people, and specifically that guy, get my F5. the awesome finish of the week.
F5 picks up the pain. F5 connects. The F5 connects.
Now, you would think Sean Brown would get my top rope Vader bomb for this week's awesome finish, but I'm going to go a little political right now. With the RNC coming here to Cleveland, I'm going to go the other way and give my awesome finish to the one Bernie Sanders. I was pro Bernie Sanders this whole time, and today he comes out, swerves us all, and now is backing the lady that he violently, with words, attacked for almost a year, going against Hillary Clinton, and now he has fully supported her. And this country is just, I don't know what's going on, but my Vader bomb, awesome finish from the top rope, goes to poor Bernie Sanders for backing Hillary Clinton. God save this country.
Vader going out now. Samuel Vega must move. Right on. A Vader bomb. A cover, a count. And a victory, and I might add a very impressive one.
All right, it's going to wrap it up for this week's This Is Awesome Wrestling Show, episode number 92. We are 8 episodes closer, away from episode 100 and Steve's extra special surprise. We're going to be giving you some details about our live show in the next few weeks. Probably next month we'll officially lay it down when our live show, where and when it will take place. But we're looking forward to it, meeting a lot of our listeners, hanging out, partaking in some drinking, and talking wrestling with you live
beverages?
And in person. Beverages.
Adult
yes.
beverages?
Adult beverages, a.k.a. some PBRs.
Not for this
your
guy.
Way. Oh, yeah, you can't handle your beer. You're a liquor guy. For health reasons.
That's right.
Yeah, not because it's for health.
Yeah, I can handle my booze as I hiccup. As I hiccup just thinking about it.
We will talk to you guys next week. Make sure to check out our Twitter. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Libsyn, all the platforms. We got you covered. Leave a comment. Rate us. It takes 2 seconds to do it. We really appreciate it. It goes a long way with the show. Also, make sure to check out AIWs. The card is going to change. We mentioned it earlier in the show. Make sure to check that out as well. A great podcast going into the minds of promoters. And Absolution is coming up in 10 days as of this recording, July 22nd, a Friday. Steve and I will both be partaking in that as well.
Yeah.
Drink
it up.
Are you ring announcing or is Pedro?
Ring announcing, brother.
Pedro's not going?
No.
No Pedro?
It's me.
All right. I'll be on commentary. Part of the three-man rotation when it comes to commentary. Looking forward to seeing Frankie Flynn's partner.
Yeah, mystery partner.
And hopefully the Duke will lay down the law.
I'm pumped for this whole show.
Yeah, we'll have some interviews for you from that show because a lot of people we want to chat with.
Johnny Gargano and his fiancee Candice LeRae taking on EC3 and formerly known as Maxine. You also see her as Katrina on Lucha Underground.
Your
also
crush.
See me tweeting her because she's my crush.
Check out AI Wrestling for the full lineup. We'll talk a little bit more about it next week.
Hey, buy our T-shirt.
Yeah, buy our T-shirt. We're officially on ProWrestlingTees.com.
We made it.
We have sold a few T-shirts.
Woo!
Geez, I want to give a shout out to our first T-shirt. I got an email every single time we sell a T-shirt.
Who bought our first T-shirt?
And I'm pulling up right now, Steve. I'm getting going into the back end of Pro Wrestling Tees. Well, not that back end, but here we go. The person's name, I think, is relation to you. I want to say
that's probably my mother.
Audrey Walker.
Yep, that's my mom. Number one support.
Number one T-shirt. Double XL coming her way. And
Double XL, that's for my stepdad.
So
he's not gonna wear it.
He'll wear it. Wear it to bed.
He's gonna wear it cutting grass.
Cut
off the sleeves.
Dude, make it any way you want. It's our logo that you see on our social media and also just in all our platforms. But it is the TIAWS. This is Awesome Wrestling Show. It says A is red, the awesome is red. Links in our social media is available on Pro Wrestling Tees. They're really, really awesome company. It'll get you a T-shirt, ship it your way very, very quickly. It's in a gravel colored T-shirt, which is kind of like a darkish gray color. Yeah. Great T-shirt. And make sure to support and the show. Check it out. And the kickbacks we get from it, it's like buying us a few beers, basically how it goes. So make sure to check it out. The links are on our social media. It's all out there, and we'll be posting the links to that. We'll have some more shirts coming your way, some more designs, some more catchy stuff, and we got to sell some T-shirts to stay on ProWrestlingTees.com as well. So
help us out.
Buy the T-shirt. Buy it.
Buy it.
And wear it. If you wear it, we'll take a photo with you. We'll give you a hug, high five. And I don't think we'll have T-shirts at Absolution, but I know in August we will have T-shirts. And, Steve, I have a Square reader. So not only can we accept cash, but we can take credit card when it comes to selling T-shirts.
Hey, it's a great gift for your lady friend to, can work as a nightie, in which case it becomes Pro Wrestling Tees.
How long have you been waiting to drop that, Steve?
20 seconds.
That's good.
I was waiting for you to finish talking.
Improv. Love it. Love it. But yeah, you can wear it as a nightie for your lady friend. It can be used for you, for your working out. Cut the sleeves off, jack it up. And if you are a wrestler listening that has been on the show, we might give out some T-shirts to people who have been on the show.
Maybe you're one of those guys that wears a T-shirt in the pool. It's perfect for that.
Dude, these T-shirts are great. It's great quality. I've ordered a lot of Pro Wrestling tees. This great quality T-shirt, and when they put stuff on the T-shirt, some T-shirt companies, you get a T-shirt, you put it in the wash a few times, it's coming off. It's
gonna stay.
It's gonna stay. It's a perfectly good T-shirt. And I'm sure a lot of listeners have bought T-shirts from there, but we're officially on there. If you go to the podcast section, look for me, Glenn, since I can't get it for the show. I had to do it under my name. So you look for me, the T-shirts under there, or you can search Awesome Wrestling Show on Pro Wrestling Tees. The links are there. Just buy the shirt. Please, buy the shirt. We'll have shirts for AIW in August, so if you are in the Cleveland area, you can wait to pay $20 cash. And not pay for shipping and whatnot when we have them with us physically. Yeah. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Buy the T-shirt. Follow us on social media. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
See ya.